Well, joining us from Manchester is the chair of the UK Alcohol Health Alliance, Professor Sir Ian Gilmore. Very good morning to you. This survey that has been done suggests that a quarter of parents will give their children potentially a bottle of wine to take to a post-exams party, children of 14 to 17. Is that something that really concerns you? How much alcohol should children be exposed to?
Well, I fully understand the pressure on parents and indeed the peer pressure on youngsters to drink. But every year, young, fit, healthy people die from alcohol. And it's interesting to me that parents seem to be prepared to take a risk with alcohol that they wouldn't accept in other areas. Because alcohol is an anesthetic agent. When people have been drinking, they lose control. You get violence, unwanted sexual experiences, all sorts of complications. And parents seem to accept these, and I don't think they understand the risks. If you go to a spinal injuries unit, you will find young people who are paraplegic from diving into swimming pools when drunk. These are really serious risks.
What do you make of a mum like Bea, who's joined us this morning, who wants to take away the mystery of alcohol for her children, so gives them a little bit so that they're not exposed to too much too soon when they're older?
Yes, I honestly don't know. I think the jury is out on that one. It's the so-called French thing of giving children a little watered-down wine early on. I don't think there's any evidence that it helps, and certainly I think one of the problems is that alcohol is becoming increasingly normalised. It's available 24/7. It's heavily marketed, particularly during the World Cup. People who don't drink feel uncomfortable, so I'm not particularly happy with anything that makes it more normalised in our society.
Let me put that to Bea. I mean, what's your response to that? That by doing what you're doing at this very young age of 8 or 9, they'll come think alcohol, oh, it's just normal, we can do that whenever we wish. I
think my argument would be that what the normalisation they're experiencing is that drinking small amounts within the family home is a nice thing to do, and what isn't normal is people getting really drunk or drinking to excess. I mean, my children are not experiencing that, and they do sometimes ask me about drunkenness, and I would absolutely not support anybody sending their child off with alcohol to a party.
Can I just ask you, Professor Gilmore, I mean, are you not a little bit surprised from the results of this survey? I mean, parents, I was shocked to discover that parents are giving their children the equivalent of a bottle of wine to go out to a party when they're 15 years old?
I mean, it is a worry. I think something that we're becoming increasingly aware of is that the brain goes on developing right into the early 20s, and we just do not know what is the impact of youngsters getting drunk, often repeatedly, most weekends. What is that doing to their brain development? And I think it's a real cause for concern.
OK, and just very briefly, if children have had no exposure to alcohol at all until they are 18, do you think it is more likely that they will drink responsibly or irresponsibly when they have their first glass?
It's very difficult to know, but what we do know, on average, the younger children start drinking, the more likely they are to run into alcohol problems in later life.
All right, Professor Sir Ian Gilmore, thanks very much indeed. Bea, thank you very much as well for being so open with us as well about your experiences.